The gravity, everywhere we look as creators today, the gravity is just pushing us. It's just pushing us toward making for other reasons than why we set out to make things in the first place.
Hello. It's great to see you again. Forget about, DaVinci Resolve, tech, camera, gear. You want to see what your fellow YouTuber does. Because, YouTube creates this connection between humans. I know it's a human thing to, create connections, but when you watch that your favorite YouTuber, being it, Peter McKinnon, or Matty Hopwire, or, even Mr. Beast, you watch these people and you feel comfortable. You're like, oh, it's amazing. It's so great to see these people again. And when some of them said that, they won't be posting anymore, you'd feel sad, because they are part of your life. They are part of your family in a way. Why I've started this conversation is because, recently there was this guy, his name is Jack Conte. So he's the co-founder of Patreon. You know what Patreon is. It's like a platform where people can support their creator. If I like a YouTuber, or a designer or a painter, that painter creates a Patreon account, and their followers, his followers, actually donate a small amount to support the painter, right? So it's the same thing with YouTube. A YouTuber could have a Patreon account, and the subscribers just donate for that YouTuber to create stuff. And what Jack Conte says in one of his last videos is he's saying that the death of the followers is coming. So, there's a huge growth of followers in Instagram, YouTube as well, Twitter. And what people say is that, well, what he actually said is that, soon we will become to a point where you don't need millions of followers. You need 1,000 people who really care about you and who would really support you and be with you, all the way. And that's actually quite incredible, but that's actually true.
The channel of distribution is broken. And it creates another problem too around creative freedom, because now suddenly my post has to be better than the other posts, according to a set of criteria that I don't know or have control of or even agree with. So instead of thinking, what do I want to make? What lights me up? What is the output that I want to create as an artist? What will my fans love? Instead of thinking those questions, now in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what will the ranking algorithm favor? And that subconsciously or consciously changes my creative output to achieve Facebook's goals, not my goals as a creator. And if it were just Facebook doing this, fine, creators would just leave and post somewhere else. But it worked really well. It was great for Facebook's business, and people started spending even more time on the platform. So the other platforms had to compete, and YouTube launched the Cosmic Panda redesign, centering the entire company around watch time, and Twitter and Instagram followed with ranked feeds in 2016, and we only saw it in retrospect. But now I think of the 2010s as the decade of ranking, the decade when the original promise of the creator-led community, the true follow, was broken for the first time.
And that's what's important. The important thing is, in this world, is to connect to your subscribers, is to connect to your viewers. And I know people want more and more and more and more, but more is not always better. Less is more, as they say in acting, and probably less is more when we're going to go in this abundance of creators. Because more and more creators, becoming professionals, and they make a living out of this, and then obviously you'll have too many creators, and you won't have enough people to be followers, if you know what I mean.
You don't have to wait. Creators don't have to wait for this. Over the last decade, I've talked to thousands of creative people. I've had my own creative projects. I've learned a lot, and I want to share just a few thoughts about navigating the shifts in the internet, and how we can all prepare ourselves and our communities for those shifts. We don't even need to wait for any of the tech platforms to catch up. Can I get next slide? Great. The first, invest in those true fans. Invest in the depth of connection, not just new. It's not all about new views, new subscribers, watch time up and to the right. It's about depth. It's about quality of interaction. It's about finding that small portion of your fans that are your engine, that are your core, and then figuring out how to reach them. By the way, sometimes when I talk about this, creators think, well, does that mean like DMs? Like, should I be talking to individual fans? No, not necessarily. That's not actually what I mean. I mean finding those people and building real connections with them in whatever capacity you have. And my team will probably kill me for saying this, but it's not even using Patreon. There's like a bunch of ways that you can do this, right? Like you can do it via email lists. You can get a Discord. You could get a Patreon if you want. I'm a little biased, but I think you could. You could find some other place where you can build that community with your true fans. The point is find those people and invest in that community. That is the engine that will drive your business, slingshot your business through these shifts in the internet. Okay, the second thing, make beautiful things. There is so much tension, especially right now, to make for the algorithm. And I've seen the diagrams, I've seen the charts, I've even drawn them in my Instagram. You know, make for the algorithm, make for yourself, and then make the things that help you build a business, and you sort of, there's a Venn diagram, the little center part, and that's the sweet spot. I've seen all that. And I get that. But the gravity, everywhere we look as creators today, the gravity is just pushing us. It's just pushing us toward making for other reasons than why we set out to make things in the first place. It's so important to remember to make beautiful things, to make things that light you up, and to make things that you care about. There's a wonderful metaphor that I love. It's a business metaphor, but it makes sense for creators too, I think. It's a metaphor of the business of the hot dog stand under the Eiffel Tower or the local restaurant. And the hot dog stand under the Eiffel Tower gets thousands of new customers coming through their hot dog stand every day, right? Because there's tourists just coming through. And they know they're going to get lots and lots of new customers. And none of those people come back, but it doesn't matter because they're just always getting new customers every day because of the Eiffel Tower. And they just make hot dogs and sell them. And some portion of those customers buy their hot dogs. Actually, don't even have to be very good hot dogs, right? They just like sell hot dogs. They know they're going to keep making money. And that business works. Like it works. It's an okay business. There's another business, which is the local restaurant business, where the people there just focus on making great food and having great service. And they actually are not in a place that gets a lot of foot traffic, so they don't get lots of new customers. But everybody in like a 5-mile radius eats there twice a month. And they just get lots of repeat customers because they've built trust and they've built depth of connection with those people, and people know that restaurant and love it and know they're gonna have a great time when they're there. That is a great business. You don't have to get lots of new and billions and acquisition, and that's not the only type of business you can build as a creator. There's this wonderful group of creators, oh my God, I've fallen in love with them. Anybody heard of the YouTube New Wave? Somebody heard of these folks? Seen some hands? It's this group of creators, they make these wonderful 30, 45-minute long form films, mini documentaries about their lives and their struggles coming into the world and quitting college, and they're beautiful. It's incredible. They're patient, they're slow, the films are long, but oh my God, the depth of the message in these films is incredible, and they're building such a strong community around their work. People just love what they have to say and can't wait to see the next one. That's a real business. That's a real community. It's different than what we're incentivized to do everywhere on the internet, but that works. Okay, the last thing. Ooh, that was loud. Know what you want. The hardest lesson I have learned as a creative person and as an operator and CEO over the last 10 years is to know and trust what I want, and to be true to that over time. That's easier said than done. Don't let somebody else tell you what you want, because then you'll end up with what they want instead of what you want. I think a good example of that is as creators, We open up our dashboards and we see these metrics on what success is. This is a dashboard that someone else built for us, and it tells us what we want. And the weird thing is, after a couple of years, we start to believe that. Like, our minds get reprogrammed, and we believe this is what I want. This is success, and we chase that. If you went back in time and you asked Ella Fitzgerald or David Bowie or Prince, what do you want? What's your goal as an artist? What matters to you? Do you think Bowie would have said, my goal as an artist is to maximize the amount of human hours spent consuming my work? I don't know what Bowie wanted. I'm not going to pretend to. But I can tell you what I want as an artist. I can tell you what matters to me as a creative person. And what I know will matter to me 10 years ago, now, and 10 years from now. I want to say something that matters to somebody. I want to say something that only I can say because of whatever experience I've had in my lived experience, something that is uniquely pointed to me. I want to say that. I want to figure out how to say that. I want to find that core of human truth in my experience and communicate it eloquently and clearly and have it be true and feel true and have someone else see that and have that person think, yes, that feels true, and it feels true to them. And then I want that person to feel connected to me even though we've never met before in our lives. But I said a thing that resonated with them and made them feel a little bit less alone because they felt like there was another person who had that same experience. I want to make things that are timeless. I want to make things that feel true now. I want to make things that feel true in 50 years. I want to make things that still feel true 500 years after I'm dead. I want to figure out how to use my short years on this planet to find that kind of truth and say it. That's what I want as an artist. And that's a very different goal than watch time. That may not be what you want as an artist, and that's okay. But the point is to know what you want, what matters to you. What are you trying to achieve as a creative person?
Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate you being here. Leave me a comment below if you'd like to ask me any questions. And, slowly I'll try and, share my life with you a little bit more and what I'm planning to do and how I'm planning to improve my skills. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care of yourself and bye-bye. Have a creation. Yeah, and enjoy summer. It's not going to last too long. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.